Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video and would like to receive notifications of my future video postings, please subscribe. The primary goal of my YouTube channel is to introduce the fast cooking system to you. The word fast is the acronym of the 4 attributes of the cooking system. It stands for flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. I get ideas of flavoring chasing from different sources. One of the most important source that helped me to develop this concept is my cousin Marge, lives in Canada. In this video, I'm going to discuss the preparation of a fried rice dish with ground pork and cauliflower. In this dish, it is a representation of how I apply what Marge has taught me. Marge said to me once, she said, recipe cooking is truly not the best way to cook because you cannot control different aspects of the dish. In a previous video, I have described a shrimp fried rice actually created by Mrs. Lin, whom I met many years ago, and that probably was the most flavorful fried rice that I ever had. Now, Marge prepared a fried rice with ground pork, and I also love. But the two fried rice that are prepared by these two individuals share a common thread, is that they take separate steps to control the flavor of the ingredients. Marge told me that the restaurant that her family used to run is a Cantonese-style restaurant in Toronto. So her cooking is leaned toward the Cantonese approach. She told me that the Cantonese cooking style is her favorite, and she probably feels that probably among the best style in the world. The reason for that is that this cooking style, the ingredients are very lightly seasoned, and it is intended for the natural ingredients of the natural flavor to carry the dish. In this dish, I'm going to use this ground pork fried rice that I cooked a few nights ago, and I'm going to describe the different strategies that I use to create the type of flavor and texture that I was looking for. This dish is divided into 2 cooking steps, and the reason for this division is that because I will have much better control of both the flavor and texture of individual food ingredients. I'm going to use my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok to cook this dish. Before I start, I'm going to spot season the wok, and if you're not familiar with this method, you can take a look at this video. Before I add the ground pork, I want the oil as hot as possible, so that will be close to its smoking point. So my goal in cooking the ground pork is twofold. One is that I will want to cause some charring of the ground pork because that will give a much better flavor to the meat. The stainless steel wok from Cuisinart with its aluminum clad bottom actually has great heat holding capacity. Another strategy for charring the ground pork is by adding some dark soy sauce because dark soy sauce contains sugar, so that will cause caramelization of the ground pork, and that give it much better flavor, or sometimes known as wok chi. Furthermore, the dark soy sauce also will give it some color as well as flavor. Now, the cauliflower stem and leaves is actually turned out to be a great use for making fried rice because they are very flavorful. I used to discard them until when I visited my cousin Marge in Canada, I saw her using that. I thought, wow, that is a great idea. Not only it gives good flavor, but it also saves the vegetables. Later on, I found out that this is also what is known as cauliflower rice that you can buy at the supermarket. Chopping up the leaves and stems takes a little bit of time. But as you can see, I got almost 5 cups for what I did from 1 cauliflower. Just imagine how much you would have thrown away if you do not use them for this particular purpose. The cauliflower stems and leaves actually provide wonderful flavor as well as texture to the fried rice. You can decide how long you want to cook them based on how crunchy you want them to be. I'm not going to season the dish heavily. I will taste it at the end. But the main goal is that I want to be able to taste the natural flavor of the cauliflower stems and leaves. Now the dish is done. I'm going to set them aside and I'm going to ready to cook the rice, the next step. However, you can tell the bottom of the wok looks pretty bad because of the caramelization of the soy sauce together with the pork. I decided I better to clean this before I cook the rice. Otherwise, the rice is going to stick to the bottom of the wok and get burned. I have a very easy method to clean this, and it takes only about 60 seconds. After I've transferred all the ingredients in the wok to a serving plate, I put the wok back onto the stove and turn the stove to high. I then use a squeeze bottle to add small amount of water to the wok. As you can see, as soon as the water hits the wok, it starts to sizzle. This is probably the best way to clean a stainless steel wok, although it also works for carbon steel and cast iron wok, but not as well. Basically, the hot water dissolves whatever that burned on the surface of the wok, and with some help from my wok spatula, I'm able to get it clean in less than 30 seconds. I then take it over to the sink and I use my wok brush. I have everything clean in about 30 seconds. After drying the wok, I put the wok back onto the stove. I then add some fried egg, which I cooked earlier when I do a video on how to season a wok. In fact, when I was making the video, I decided I better use these eggs in the fried rice that evening. I add the chopped egg into the wok. I did not add any oil because there are some oil already associated with the fried egg. You can add the egg in many different forms. You can scramble them, or in this case, I fry them. Or sometimes you can add directly to the wok while you are cooking the rice. I often do it this way because my wife likes to have the eggs have a distinct texture. As I was stirring the stir-fried egg, I decided that maybe I need to add a touch more oil. Next, I add about 2.5 cups of rice to the wok. As you notice that the rice looks very hard and dry, it is very important that the rice is not moist. So never use rice that has just been cooked because they will not be able to fry properly. I then use a what is known as a hamburger meat chopper to break up the rice. This is probably one of the best equipment that I have purchased for making fried rice because otherwise it is very hard to break up the rice when they are hot like this. At this point, the main goal of frying the rice is that you want to warm it up. Now, how long you want to fry the rice depends on very much how crispy you want the rice to be. If you want the rice to be quite crispy, then you fry it a little bit longer. In this case, you might want to add some more oil. I will always keep an eye on whether any rice are stuck to the bottom of the wok. If it does, just add a little bit more oil. Okay, the last step is to combine the ground pork and the cauliflower stem and leaves together with the rice. After mixing the content briefly, now the dish is ready. I did a quick taste test. I decided not to season it with either soy sauce or oyster sauce because I want to maintain the natural flavor of the ingredients in the dish. Instead, I add some of my basic seasonings which intend to enhance the natural flavor. If you like to know about the ingredients in this seasoning mix, you can take a look at this video. So top it off, I garnish the dish with some scallions. I feel that I have really achieved the flavor chasing mission in cooking this dish because I really enjoy both the taste and the texture of the dish. I really feel that each ingredient has come alive. And because of how I cook them in different stages, the ground pork has a great flavor and also that charness still retained in the ground pork. At the same time, the broccoli stem and leaves has really excellent flavor. So as you can tell, there are many different strategies of how you cook a particular dish, depending on how you want it to come out. So when you're talking about a flavor of a dish, you're talking about both the taste as well as the texture. In this case, I want to be able to control both to achieve the objective I want in this dish. Thank you for watching. I hope this video give you a demonstration of how to create the flavor that you enjoyed. If you like what you see in this video, please click the like icon below because this will help me to reach a broader audience. If you'd like to receive notifications of my future video postings, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll see you next time.